Audio.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry about that. It's our first time live streaming on YouTube, and we scheduled something to start, and then got confused about which one we were meant to stream on.
But we're here now. Yay.
Yeah. Fortunately, live streaming or performing live streams is not our area of expertise with our technology. So yeah, hopefully you'll forgive the issues with the live streaming.
Yeah. Thanks so much for joining. So I can see that we've got a couple of people watching. The reason that we wanted to do this live stream is because I think a lot of people have seen us on Dragon's Den, and the product has changed a lot since we recorded the pitch, and we've implemented a bunch of new things, and so we just kind of wanted to film and be able to show people what the changes are, how things work now, and also give an opportunity for people to ask questions. So yeah, so Aaron, do you want to start talking about some of the changes that we've made?
Yeah, sure. So in the episode, it's been a while. So it's actually been a good few months since we filmed the episode, and then they have to do a whole editing process before it actually goes out live. And in that period of time, you can see I used to have white hair, and I now look very different. I look a bit disheveled because we've been working so hard to get everything prepared for the live show. So basically, we've done a bunch of things since then to kind of make the product a lot easier to use. So one of the things is that when we showed it on the show, it actually wasn't so easy to be able to have like a preset. So basically what we've done is we've made it really easy so that when you go into the product, you can select your caption style, the animations, add your logo, music, all these different things. And you can do that at the very start. And then if you're trying to make clips, then it will just make a whole bunch of them in that style. So we've just made that flow a lot easier. We've made it really easy to kind of like save templates. And there's a bunch of like, really fun stuff that we've also done that, yeah, we're excited to show you. So yeah, should we get into it?
Yeah, I think so. You can go straight into it.
Cool. Yeah, so for anybody that hasn't used Choppity before, I just thought I'd show you how it works and how it looks. So basically, when you come to Choppity and you sign in, you'll see something like this. Apart from you won't have, oh, sorry. I just did the classic thing where I'm not showing you my screen. Here we go. Right, so we're in the little corner there. So what you'll see is you'll see something kind of like this where you've got the create new project button. You've got not this. So this is only here because I did a little blue pizza, as here's one I prepared earlier. But basically what you'll see is this big plus button, and you just go and you create a new project. So at the time of recording for Dragon's Den, we actually only had one option, which was clips. The others we've since added, and we'll get into those a little bit later. But essentially clips is the one that you guys saw on the show, where you can upload a long video and it will go through, it will find key moments and turn those into short form content. So if we just focus on that one for a second, what I do is I click on it and it will ask me to upload my long video. So I'm just going to go through, I've got a whole bunch of test videos here. I'm going to select this one. So on the left hand side, you can see there's a bunch of customization options. You can choose from so many different languages. We support 97 different languages, but we're just going to stick with English here. And you can choose different caption styles. So I'm just going to click play on the right hand side over here. This is the preview.
Hi, I'm Zara,
So basically, even though this isn't the video I uploaded, the reason that we have this here on the right hand side is because I might want to go through and quickly change the different options. And I just want to see, it's kind of like a preview. It's an example of how your video might look, even though it's not obviously actually your video. But basically at this point, what I can do is I can go through and I can just customize stuff. So the way that Choppity works is we have two different things for captions. We have captions and we have captions effect. So the way that captions effect works, and you can always refer to, if you just hover over one of these little icons here, you can see what it says. But essentially the way that it works is you have a baseline style of captions. So that's one of these. These are just kind of normal caption styles, which are very kind of simple, straightforward, easy to read. But then also what we noticed is that a lot of the time when people are making videos, they like to have a kind of fancy caption style at the start and then transition to something more, straightforward. So that's essentially what we built into Choppity. So for example, if I just click play on this whole thing and let it run.
Hi, I'm Zara, one of the founders of Choppity. Welcome to our AI-powered editor for social media.
you'll see there that basically it went from this caption style, the very bold one, over to just some simple style. And yeah, you can go through, you can choose it. Say for example, for this simple style, I'll choose this, and blue isn't my color. That's fine. You can go, you can make it this weird yellow color, something nice and pink, whatever you want. On top of that, you can also upload your logo. So I'm just gonna upload a little test image here. Let's go for, I don't know, let's see. Okay, this is gonna be a really random little rectangle, but you can imagine that this would be your logo, or something like that. So it's uploaded, it selects it, and by default, it just puts it in the middle, and it's kind of small. These are just simple style options. I usually put it in the top left or the bottom left, something like that. So even though right now it doesn't give you much customization options, later on you can actually go through and you can change the size of it and put it wherever you want, and it's a lot easier. So alongside that, you can also upload some music, and it will add that to every single one of the clips. I'm not going to do that just now. And then also you can add zooms. So zooms are just these little zooms that might be said when you say something important, and it automatically detects those points. So when I say something important, it will zoom in on the person's face, and then it will zoom back out. So anyway, now that that's done, I've got this funky little style that I've come up with the pink text and the little logo in the top left. I'm going to click continue. At this point, it's going to start analysis. So here, this will take a little minute for it to do it. But in the meantime, I'm just going to show you one that I made earlier. Again, Blue Peter style, love that. And you can see, yeah, we've got our clip here. So interestingly, at this point, you can click download if you want. But we also recommend going through into the edit panel. The reason that we recommend doing this is just it allows you to really refine what you're working on. I'm just going to move my face over here. So you can go through, and what we've done is we've tried to make it as easy as possible to edit videos. So instead of normally with a video editor, what you need to do is you need to kind of like trim down here, and that's fine. But as you can see with Choppity, as I'm trimming this, it's also moving the part in purple up here that's selected. And the reason that we do that is because actually sometimes when you're editing a video, it's a lot easier to just read the transcript and be like, oh, actually I want the part from here down to, let's say, here, right? And then it just makes it a lot easier to do that sort of thing. Also, if for example I'm like, this is really good, but it's got this part in the middle, I don't know, let's say this part here where he goes, no, yeah, when it's a story about people, I can just click cut like this, and you can see it's now cut that section out of the video, and it's split it into 2 clips like that. So you can see it goes on script or VRBO, no, yeah, when they tell the story, it's a story about people, and then it cuts to yes, and they know all their names. So that's a really easy way for you to just go through. You can cut all your different sections out however you want. And yeah, there's a bunch of like options and customization things in here. If say for example in this scene, you see how the guy's kind of a little bit to the left, what I can do is I can go into crop, and I can just say I actually want him to be over here, so I just move that. And let's say I also want this guy to be visible, I can just say add crop box, and I'm gonna scale this one down, and I'm gonna move this one here, and you can see it's automatically put these guys here, and they're on top of each other. So basically that's, I guess, the overview I would give of that. When you're ready with your video and you're happy with it, you can just click download. Again, like I say, in this case, in this demo, I've made a bit of a weird one. Oh, actually, one thing that I wanted to show is I'm just going to add an image which is the same one before. So let's say at the start, it added, during that customization section, it added your logo, and you're like, it was in the right place, but it was a bit small. This is where you have that opportunity to just be able to like scale it up, have a really big logo if you want, that sort of thing. But anyway, so the other thing that you can do is once I've edited one video in the exact way that I like it, I can actually go through and I can create a bit more of an advanced template. So you can see at this point, it says my template is empty, but I can add to it that image. And I can say, right, this, I'm just going to zoom in here. I can say this image, this logo that I've added, I want it to start always 4 seconds into the video, and it should always end 10 seconds later, right? Or I can say, actually, I want it to start at the very start of the video, and it should end 10 seconds later. But we also have some more dynamic approaches. So for example, I can say, I want it to start at the start of the intro and end at the end of the intro. By intro, what we actually mean is a lot of the times when I'm making a video, there might be a little bit of an introductory phrase or like a hook or something that's, you know, really there to try to get the viewer's attention. that might be a different length. So if I upload a video and it finds a clip, maybe I don't want my logo to appear, you know, at time 0 and end at time 10 every single time. Maybe I want it only to appear for the logo. And so that's the way that you can do that. So yeah, anyway, once I've created my template, and again, you can add a bunch of objects to this template, literally whatever you want, you can just click Save as Template. So yeah, that's about it. And I think this is the video that I just uploaded before, so you can see, if I click play on this, you can see that, you know, the clip that it made.
And what was so funny was that...
Yeah, so I'd say that's kind of the overview of current Choppity. Have we got any questions?
Yeah, we are recording this, and we will make it available. We also might just edit out the demo bit that Aaron just did and post that as a separate video, just because we think that that's the most important bit. But yeah, are there any other questions? We've set it up as there's a bit of a delay, so the time that you ask us a question, there might be a bit of a delay in the time that we answer it, because just to ensure that we've got the highest quality streaming. But yeah, we will make it available and put it on our YouTube channel.
I guess in the meantime, it would be fun to just show you some of the other options of things that we've been working on. So one of the things that we noticed is that a lot of people really enjoy uploading like a long video and getting Choppity to automatically find those clips. But also sometimes you come across, you know, somebody who's maybe got a very specific vision of the type of clip that they want, and they essentially just want to use Choppity to edit it automatically for them. That's why for them we created this short video editing option. And essentially what that allows you to do is you just upload, let's say I've already got my little video that I've cut, it's maybe 45, 60 seconds long. I can just upload that into Choppity and select the short video option, and it will edit my video in my style in that way. So the whole idea of that is just makes it a lot easier for those people who are very specific about what they want and don't necessarily need to upload the whole 60-minute long video. The other kind of little benefit of that is that actually if you already know what you're uploading, if you upload a shorter video section, it will only take a short part of your allowance. So for example, you know, let's say you're on the free plan and you've only got 30 minutes of video to upload per month. Instead of uploading that 30-minute long video and just kind of using everything in one go, you can also kind of split it into shorter chunks and just edit each one. And you know, you can make a whole bunch of content out of that. So if you want to be more efficient about it, you can also do that. But then obviously the clips is a faster approach.
So we've just had 2 questions come in. One of them is, does it work direct from an iPhone?
So yeah, for that question, so basically because of the way that Choppity's editor works, so that's the part where you can edit everything, that part unfortunately isn't available on mobile phones, but the part where you can like upload videos and like watch them and download them, that you can do on a phone. We have a restriction at the moment, which means that you can't use Safari, but if you use Google Chrome on your iPhone, like it will work great. So you can just upload videos there. One of the reasons that we did that as a workflow as well is that oftentimes what it allows you to do is, I could say, for example, on my phone, I could record a video, upload it straight from my phone to Choppity, and I can download it there. But if I want to edit it, then I can come to the desktop version and I can edit it there as well. So as long as I've logged into my account on both my phone and on my laptop, then I can do that. The reason that we haven't got it yet currently for mobile phones is, one, there's a bit of a restriction with like mobile phones where they're not quite powerful enough. And so we didn't really want to have an experience where it was really jittery and just not very high quality on your phone. And also just in terms of phones, like a phone is quite small, and just fitting all of the editing functionality on a phone can be a bit tricky. And so yeah, that's one of the reasons why we decided to do that.
Thank you. So another question is, will you be able to do fades on the timeline? Now, when you say fades, do you mean transitions, and or is there a different kind of fade that you mean? I'll wait for you to answer that one, because the next one is also a really good question. When you do revisions to a new, usually shorter video, can you go back and edit the draft? So I think what you mean by that is, can you open up the editor? So I'm gonna go through an explanation, and if I'm wrong, please feel free to correct your question. But my understanding is, once you've exported your video, can you go back into it and make more edits? Is that correct? Because yes, you can, essentially. All of the edits are saved and stored in a project, but as you can see here on the left, we have the full transcript of the original upload, which means, you know how Aaron cut out this bit over here before, he could just extend that over there like that, and then that would essentially remove that cut that he's done. You can also, whilst you're in the editor, actually just undo, which means that you can change things and then go back to it again. And then yeah, fades and transitions on the timeline. That's something that we've got in our roadmap. And if you've got suggestions of specific transitions that you want to see, we'd really love to hear them. We really like to build things based on what users need and what users are asking for. So yeah, it would be helpful to see the types of transitions that you want to see.
Yeah, a couple of the transitions that we've got in mind are one, like you know, let's say I've got exactly in this situation down here, I've got one video clip and another video clip next to it. We could do a crossfade between those where, you know, it just fades into one or the other. But also we like the idea of having light leaks. So I don't know if you've seen that before, but it's kind of the thing where you have some like some flashy light. It's a bit hard to describe, but you have like a light leak, and it comes from when you have light kind of come across a camera lens. Nice colorful lights, and that can really help with the transition. And then also, for example, like some zooms and things like that to help transition as well.
So Daniel was also asking about collaboration, if we can show how teams work.
Oh, teams, yeah, I'm super happy to show that. Yeah, so teams in Choppity, it's a really important part of the product, we find. And basically it works in a very simple way. So if you look down at the bottom left here, you can see I've got my team and I've got team. When you create an account in Choppity, you will automatically be added to your own team, which will just be called my team, and that will be a team on the free plan by default. But for example, if I want to invite somebody to my team, all I do is I click on this team button here, and you can see it will show a list of members. And you can see we've got 2 members in this team. One of them is me, that's Aaron at choppity.com, and the other one is livestream at choppity.com, which is just a demo account that we made. And basically what that means is that then anybody that's in the team, here in this selection down at the bottom left, they will be able to click my team and they can swap between all of their different teams. So you can see I am part of 4 different teams. Aaron's team, this is my team, we have live stream, we have this one as well. So for example, I'm just going to show you this here. So here are all my projects in this current team that I'm in, which is called my team. If I swap over to Aaron's team, this is the team that I normally just work out of. It will, without logging me out or anything, it will just swap me to this team. And you can see here, I have a bunch of like random videos that I've been testing with. And then it has a completely different analysis allowance and storage. It's got a different plan as well. So you can see, for example, this one's on the creator plan with 6 packs. And then basically anybody that's in this team is able to access all of the projects and videos that are within that team. So do you think that's a good explanation?
Yeah, I think so. Do you want to talk about sharing links as well of projects?
Yeah, sure. So say for example, I just want to share a link to somebody who's not in a team. Maybe I've edited a video for a client or something like that. Then what I can do is I can go over to the share button, which is in the top right here. So there's download button. This one just lets you take kind of like a screenshot of the current frame of the video that you're in.
For example, if you want to create a thumbnail for a video that goes on social media, that button will just take a picture of the current frame.
Yeah, and then if I want to share, I just click that share button. So I'm just going to zoom out for a second. There you go. So I can click the share button, and what it will do is basically at this point I can swap it either from private, where only myself and members of the team can view this project, which is the default, to public. And if I change it to public, then anybody with this link can view this project. So at that point, I just click copy link, and then I'm just going to open a new window here and paste it in there. So this is a new window where I'm not logged in as a Choppity user at all. So if I send this link, I mean, I'm not signed into the thing, so unfortunately I can't send it to you guys. But I could send you this link, and you guys would be able to open it up. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If you get it and send it to the chat, that would be good.
I can do that.
Yeah, because Zara is in this team as well. I think Zara is livestream at choppity.com.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
are all of the email addresses.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, and by the way, that's another thing that I should just show you there. So Zara on another computer has just opened up this project, and so for me,
actually, that leads into Daniel's question quite nicely,
Yeah.
which is can they access simultaneously and edit in real time?
Mm.
Which is no. While they can edit things that are different things that are within the same team, they can't edit on the same project.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna say that again because I think it's quite important to be like super explicit about that. Basically, let's say that there are
Ah, look, this is what it says here. I just entered
Yeah.
this project and started editing it.
So let's say, for example, there are two people in the same team. So I was editing a project, right? Which is this one here. I was editing this, and I had the editor window where I could see everything, the transcript, the timeline, all of that stuff. Then Zara opened up this same project, but from their account. What that did is because we can't edit at the same time, it essentially just kicked me out and said, okay, you're in viewer mode right now because another member of your team is currently editing this project. Say, for example, I want to take back control. I can just do that. I can say take editing control. That will kick Zara out and it will let me edit it.
There you go. I've just been kicked out now.
Yeah, so Zara's just being kicked out and now I have access to it. So as a result, it means that, only one person can edit one project at the same time. But for example, I could work on this video in this project and Zara could work on a different one, and that's absolutely fine.
Within the same team.
Yeah, within the same team. However, for the sharing link, I can be editing a video. So have you shared the link?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you shared the link.
Yeah,
okay, so this can be an example, right?
Mhm.
So Zara shared the link to this project in the chat on YouTube. So what I'm going to do is at the 3.7 second mark, I'm going to add this image. And I'm going to make it nice and big. Like this. And then so once you see this, because there's some delay with when the stream happens, if you just click refresh on the link that Sarah sent in the chat, you'll be able to see this image, this big image, pop up about 4 seconds into the video. So
yeah, that's what Daniel's actually just asking now. In viewer mode, can you actually view what they're editing? So there's a slight delay because it takes a time for things to update. But if the user was to just refresh their page, then they would see all of the updates that you're making.
Yeah. So currently it does require a refresh, but we want to change it to where it will be like live real time, so you wouldn't have to refresh, if that makes sense. But we thought that this was a good starting point to help with collaboration between, this is oftentimes used for, we have customers who are, marketers. They maybe run a marketing agency. I might be making video clips on behalf of one of my clients. Now, I don't necessarily want to invite the client to my team, but I might want to be able to show them, okay, like I'm editing your video. Here's the link to it. Do you like it? They say yes, but the logo's, the logo's really big and in the middle, and I don't like that you chose to do that. Can you just move it and put it in the top left? In which case, I can do this, and if they just refresh, they'll see that update immediately without me having to download the video as an MP4, upload it to Google Drive or to YouTube, and send them to the link to that. So it just kind of helps with that workflow. Cool. Do you have any other questions?
No, none, no new ones that
Okay, cool.
I can see. Yeah, how does everyone feel about the product? How has it been feeling? I'm guessing, who have we got here? Do we have people who are mostly new since the episode aired, or do we have people who are long-time users? I saw a couple of our long-time users logged in at the beginning, but I'm not sure if tell us about how long you've been using Choppity for and how you feel about it.
Yeah, we're really curious. We've been working on the product for a long time, so it's been nice to have some new users all come in at once and try it out. Or so I'm the tech guy, as you might have seen on the show. So I've been a bit stressed out making sure that everything works correctly, but I'm glad that for the most part it has been. So yeah, I mean, if we have any specific
we've
questions?
got one here from Daniel. Can you show auto clipping to different formats, say 16:9 to 9:16, and shorter? What do you mean by shorter? Do you want to just show the reformatting though, Aaron, the cropping functionality? I don't think, did you show that?
I'm unsure. I don't know what the question is.
Can you show clipping 2 different formats?
Sure, yeah. I mean, if that, okay, I'm just gonna assume that means changing to different aspect ratios, like different sizes. So I'm gonna take this video again, and I'm just gonna select this style here. So I'm going to this time choose square. Let's say I want it to turn from what was originally a landscape video into one that's square. I can just choose square here. Alternatively, I can also just keep it landscape if I want to. But in this situation, just for the demo, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to click continue, edit my video. And then it will go through and it will make the clips in the exact same way, but this time it's going to make them square. Now, that is just when I choose it at the start. But something that I want to show you is that actually if I go through, this was the video that I uploaded at the very start of this live stream with this logo in the top left, if you remember. If I click edit, even though it made my clip in portrait, in the top right here, there's a selector. So what I can do is I can choose and change that to be square. So even though originally I asked it to make a portrait clip for me, I can just change that and it will make it square. So you can see it works square now. And again, if I just want it to be landscape, I can change that again. So one of the reasons that we did this is also, let's say I've gone through, it got a clip that I like, but maybe I had to edit it a little bit. So instead of you having to then, you know, remake it every single time, I can just at that point, once I've selected it, I can just change the aspect ratio to be portrait, square, or landscape. Hopefully that answers the question. Do you reckon it does?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But it would be great to get confirmation from Daniel if that does answer the question. Daniel's further specified cut down for TikTok. So I think that's what they mean. What kind of content are you uploading, Daniel? And then we've got Mahesh that said, completely new. I'm in the convenience retail market working with a group of independent retailers. Our drive is to grow presence on social media, simply creating content and marketing to our local, oh, it's cut off. To our local, I guess, audiences or customers. But yeah, cool. What kind of content? So are you starting from short form? Are you starting local communities? There you go. Yeah, we like to say that our product is for novice users and for professionals alike. Like, we've made the interface as simple as possible, whilst also trying to allow as much flexibility as possible. So yeah, I'm pleased that comes across. Any auto tracking, say, of a headshot?
Yeah, sure. I can show an example of that. So I'm just gonna go and upload a clip. So we have well, actually, you know, I'm gonna do it as a short video. We have a demo file that we use specifically for tracking. This is my big list of all of my
test videos.
Yeah, let's see if I can find it here. All right, so we've got a video of somebody walking around on stage. So the original video is landscape, and I'm just gonna quickly click here. So again, I think what you know, you're referring to is that often you have a landscape video, maybe somebody walking around on the stage,
or even just moving.
Yeah,
around.
Sometimes you have really fidgety like interview or podcast guests. I'm that kind of guy. And so you need to make sure to track their face and center it. So that's something that we're, you know, super aware of, and we built into the product to make sure that we can account for that. And in a lot of software, what you have to do is you have to like add a keyframe. I don't know if you know video editing, but you have to like basically say, okay, at time 0 the face is here, at time 1 it's here, and then it goes back, and that's a bit of a nightmare. So currently Choppity doesn't automatically track like by default. However, you can see in this situation, right, so this person on the left is the original video, on the right is the kind of output, of course. I'm just gonna move my face out the way a little bit here. And so obviously if I click play on this video,
things from this. First of all, people,
you can see he moves out of frame, and that's not very good. So what I can do is at any point I can just put the guy in the center, and then I can click this purple button here which says follow, and that will automatically find the face and it will track it across the video. So in Choppity we have what are called scenes. So basically the tracking is done per scene, and the reason why is because in this video there's a cut. So Choppity automatically detects that here there's a cut. You see how it changes camera angles? That's a cut. So it automatically detects those, and basically I can click follow on each one of those scenes if I want to, but oftentimes somebody isn't moving in every scene. So anyway, now that it's kind of analyzed, what I can do is I can just click play.
Learn two things from this. First of all, people love a good explanation.
And you can see it took one click to just make sure that person is tracked properly. I'm just going to show it one more time on this scene over here. So again, I'm going to show you that if, let's say, for example, I show the guy's face here, I click play.
They hunt them down. Even people who say they hate learning.
You see he goes down a bit and he's not properly framed, and it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look great. Again, I can just go, I click the follow button, it will analyze for a second, it's done.
They hunt them down. Even people who say they hate learning.
And you see, now it tracks him as he's moving down. So we're just trying to make things which are complicated into one-click solutions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. Does that answer your question, Daniel? Oh, we've got Stevie Richards that's just joined as well.
Hi, Stevie.
Hi, Stevie.
That's nice. Yeah, it's really nice. So you guys might have seen on the show, but this company is literally just myself and Zara. We've been fortunate to hire our first intern this year, which is a really big step for us. It's fun to learn how to manage with somebody. I think we're doing a good job. Hopefully, you know, he would say the same. He's called Gary. She's lovely. But yeah, it's just really nice that we're starting to build a bit of a community of people, and that's why it's, you know, I mean, this is this is the first live stream that we've hosted ourselves.
Yeah, hence the technical difficulties at the beginning. So sorry about that again.
Yeah, and me fumbling over my words, but
we want to do them more regularly because we think it's a really good way to connect with people and to hear feedback straight away, and to also just give updates on what it is that we're doing. We develop so quickly that it's not necessarily always easy for us to deliver the information without spamming email inboxes, which we don't want to have to do. So so I think we're going to do these more regularly now, and we have like a lot of our long-term users that are still actively using them. That the reason that we have maintained such good relationships with them is because we regularly have calls with them, but we're kind of getting to the point where we can't really have individual calls with every single person that uses the product. So this is a good way to reach people and to also have recordings and allow people to see what it is that we're doing without needing to commit to, you know, communicating with us. Yeah, thank you. Well, not questions, just comments. We've got Stevie that said, keep up the great work. I know it's not easy to do these kinds of things. Yeah, it's not. It's intimidating.
It is intimidating.
But nothing will be as scary as Dragon's Den. And Daniel said, Zara and Aaron, great job. Very impressive. Thank you so much, Daniel.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for all your questions as well. It's really great because it gives us more to talk about. We sometimes, you know, when you spend so long looking at something that things just seem obvious, we're at that stage with our own product now, if that makes sense. So when other people come in and haven't seen it yet, they ask us questions which to us they would have been obvious, and so we don't think about showing them. So it's really helpful to hear the questions and to hear what people have questions about.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to show a little feature that I didn't really I didn't explain properly. So this is something that we've been working on in Choppity. One of the things that we've noticed is that oftentimes when somebody makes a video, or they're trying to make short form content from a longer video, what they'll do is at the start of the video, for example, they'll have a text pop up, which maybe gives like a summary, and it will summarize, okay, this clip is about this. And that's really useful because it can help to hook a viewer and to engage them better, and to make sure, you know, that they understand the context of what the video is about, and it helps improve watch time and the watch it through. And so as part of that, we're like, okay, well, how can we build that into the product? And, you know, obviously what came to mind is, okay, well, maybe we can make that text appear automatically, and we can automatically create a summary of this specific clip. But one of the difficulties with that is, okay, well, let's say we can do that. How do we make sure that it looks good and it looks in the style that I want? And so it's actually something that we've built into our templating system. So I'm just going to show you that super quickly as well. So I'm just going to go back over here to one of the projects that were made. And let's say I'm in that exact situation where at the intro of the video, so here I'm at the very start, I want a little bit of text to pop up, right? So I'm just going to click an object which says text. So I've got my text here. It's this one here. I'm going to say, you know, this is placeholder text for my summary, right? So that's the text I want to appear. I'm now going to change the style because I'm not a fan of this italic. Let's say I'm going to give it a block background like this, round the corners, and I'm going to drop the background opacity. And then let's also make it a little bit smaller like this. So I would say that I'm happy with that. And here it's in the first 10 seconds. Let's say I want it to appear here. What I can do is I can actually add this object to a template. So I'm going to click create template. I'm going to select this placeholder text. And here on the right hand side, same as before, I can choose the start and end time. But I can also, instead of the content and the text of it just being this is placeholder text for my summary, I can click generative. And what this is going to allow me to do is I can type in a prompt. So if you've used anything like ChatGPT before or any large language models, you'll be really familiar with this. But essentially what it means is that I can type in here anything like, make a funny joke about this part. I can type in anything that I want, and I can also give it some context. So in this case, if I choose object, the context will be whatever part of the video is shown between this start and end time, between 0 and 10 seconds. I can also say, actually, I want the context to be everything in this entire video. So let's give this a go. I'm just going to say object, and we're going to choose this weird prompt, which is make a funny joke about this part, which probably doesn't make too much sense for video editing. For this example use case, but just to demo it, we're going to do that. And then I'm going to choose clips again. I'm going to choose my same example video. And then I'm going to choose, I think, yeah, it's this template here. So I didn't give it a name, but yeah, 1944, let's check. Yeah, that's the current time. So this is the template that I just made. And I'm going to click continue edit my video. So now what Choppity is going to go and do is it's going to create the clips as normal. It's going to add my captions, change it to be portrait. But also at that 0 to 10 second mark for every single one of those videos, it's going to try to make a funny joke about whatever is being said at that time. So I'm really curious to see what kind of humor the AI comes up with, but
ordinarily you might use the prompt. This kind of make a funny joke example, I think, is to just kind of show the capabilities of what the what you can put in as a prompt.
Yeah.
But really you can use this instead to say something like, extract a quote at this point, or generate a title for this video, or kind of something like that, something that you might use in order to add some depth, or something that you might use in order to improve the understanding of the viewers of your videos. And yeah, so that was the idea with that. And yeah, so I'm curious to see what
I'm really curious
make a funny joke is gonna
That's the fun thing about our product, is that because it is actually editing it, we don't know what's gonna happen. I have not tested this prompt exactly, so hopefully it works. I think it will, but it's just fun when you build a product that surprises you yourself. You know what I mean? Like we're not building a spreadsheet editor. We're building something a bit fun. All right, so let's have a look. So it's edited the videos, okay, and it's going through and it's making the clips. So okay, it's got some like kind of it seems that every single one of them starts with why did the okay why did the okay all right let's have a look at this one here. Yeah. Okay, so this one here, right, so I'm gonna hide that part on the right for a second. And so the clip says overconfident foolishness is a key part of doing anything ambitious in life. Okay, so that's the context of what we're going off with. So click play. Okay, the joke is, why did the overconfident fool apply for a job as an astronaut? Because they thought the sky was the limit and they wanted to prove it by jumping off the roof. Goodness me, what?
That is a bad joke.
That's a horrific joke. I don't even get it, and I don't like it. Anyway, but you get the idea. And also you can say, you might add into that prompt there, you might say, okay, don't make it longer than 20 words, because this one here is quite long, or don't make it longer than 10 words, something like that.
So Daniel's asking whose AI we're leveraging and curious how long we've been working on Choppity. As he said earlier, very impressive. Thank you so much, Daniel. We use a mixture of our own AI and other people's AI, like third party and also open source. We've built on other people's models, and we also have built our own models. And we just kind of pull it together to make the most efficient video editor.
Yeah, I just want to say, yeah, the rationale, the way that we choose whether we use somebody else's like models and AI or we build it ourselves is essentially which one do we think is higher quality. So anything that we think we can do or that we're confident that we can build in a higher quality way, then we do it ourselves. So for example, like the face tracking, that's done by ourselves. There isn't a particularly good thing which exists which does that.
But
so
then,
we just built it ourselves.
But then, for example, with speech to text, like transcription, there's absolutely no point in us building that ourselves. There's excellent companies and excellent models out there that do it really, really well. And if we were to try to do it, it would just be giving ourselves too much to do, and then we also wouldn't be able to do it at the same quality as these third parties can do it. And I think a key point to notice is that we're actually moving away from the words AI video editor and moving more towards the words programmatic video editor or automated video editor, because we are not fans of AI for the sake of AI. I feel like in the last couple of years, a lot of products have come out with new versions which have just been the same thing with AI shoehorned in, and we're really not trying to do AI for the sake of AI. We're trying to make video editing and content creation efficient and easy and accessible for everyone. And if the best option is to use AI to perform a task, then we will use AI. But if the best option is to use something else, then we'll use something else.
Yeah, I think that sums that up pretty well.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a really good question, Daniel. Oh, and we've been working on Choppity since kind of since November of 2022.
Yeah, so we actually said it on the show as well. So November 2022 was the first day that we ever thought about, oh, what if we automatically created short form content from long videos? That was the first day we had like the thought that the neurons fired in our brains. That was the first day. And then it took about 3 months to create the first version. And it's honestly such a shame that we don't have a really good video recording of the first version, because I would love to show it to you. But it's nothing like the product that we have today. The first version was very scrappy. It worked, it did the thing,
just about.
Yeah, but just about. And yeah, it was fun to build that in a short period of time. And the moment where we really knew, okay, this is a problem that people have, is that we launched that really bad product, and a day later somebody bought our first subscription, and we were so over the moon. Like it's one of those feelings, you know, where, you know, I don't know if many of you have like your own business or anything like that, but when the first person buys something that you've made, it's like it's like it was such an exciting feeling. And yeah, since that day we've just been working on improving it.
Yeah, and we've also been trying to be very thoughtful about how to build something that's sophisticated but also very easy to use. And I think we just about strike that balance. But one of the things that we are missing is just educational content. So by the way, if any of you guys are up for making educational content about us, we're super keen to collaborate with you and give you access to the product.
Oh, and by educational content, you mean?
Oh, by educational content, I mean like tutorials, or helper videos, like how to do this, like those kinds of videos.
Yeah. We just want to make it easier to understand. Like the difficulty is that as simple as you can make a video editor, it's still video editing.
Which is a complex thing to do.
Yeah, which is a complex thing to do. And so there's a little bit of a learning curve. But one thing that we have found from our users, which is interesting, is that the users who use Choppity for maybe like a month and they use it a bit, those people stick around for a long time. Once they kind of learn and understand how it works, then they stick around for a long time. Yeah,
actually, in our Dragon's Den pitch, so one of the example videos that we used was a podcast recording from one of our first clients, and they are still our clients today, and they're coming down to London to see us in the next couple of weeks, and we've actually become much better friends with them since they've been using it, because we've saved such a great deal of time for them and effort in creating their short form content.
Yeah, it's been nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So I mean, is there anything else we should specifically chat about? If you guys have any questions, we can also chat a little bit about Dragon's Den. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of it we're allowed to actually talk about until.
Nothing crazy. I was just gonna say that. Yeah, I mean, it's been really nice to have the show come out. One of the things that's been interesting is actually my friends, people that I'm 24 now. People that I played football with when I was 12 years old sent me messages being like, "Oh, that's really cool. You know, you've gone from playing heads and volleys in Gateshead Stadium to on TV, which is it's pretty fun. It's just like it's a nice thing. I feel like it's. I mean, right now I'm overwhelmed by like messages and stuff. But it's gonna be really nice to have a proper chat with those guys and get to reconnect with them and that sort of thing. I'm just gonna plug my laptop now.
Yeah, good idea. Well, actually, if there are no other questions, I think now would actually probably be a good time to sign off. Because, yeah, I mean, we'd only scheduled to go until 8 anyway. So, and as I mentioned, we're going to be posting the recording of this, and also we want to do more regular live streams now. This is something that we want to work into our routine. We're also pushing updates so regularly that it just is really helpful to be able to tell people straight away what it is that we're doing. So so we'll keep an updated banner at the top of the website for now with just updated live stream links. And I promise that we'll get the hang of live streaming as well. This was just really last minute because.
But you know what? Maybe this is one of those moments where we're going to look back on this video, on this live stream, and in like a few years time, maybe when we have like a whole studio set up, when we do really awesome live streams, we're gonna be like, oh, I remember that first live stream. Maybe that's one of these moments.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm looking into the future.
You're pre-nostalgic.
Yeah. I mean, look at this. Look how long it took me to think to make our faces bigger on the screen. It took me 45 minutes to think to do that when we were no longer showing the product. Anyway. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks so much for logging on, and thanks so much for your brilliant questions, Daniel. They were really great.